it presumably means that some of those 48% who are indicating they're going to vote yes are also indicating they're going to vote Labour, which is really very, very interesting from an electoral point of view. We talked a little bit in the last few weeks on this podcast about what Labour needed to do to get back soft unionists and to get back soft nationalists. Now, they've kind of got back the soft unionists almost by default already. And what this, I think, indicates is they might be starting to get back a few of the soft nationalists, but they're not turning into unionists. They're still soft nationalists. They're just soft nationalists who vote Labour. Now that, I think, that'll be very buoying for Anas Sarwar. He'll be pretty comfortable with that. He doesn't necessarily need to turn them into unionists right now. He'd probably just rather they voted Labour. So, I think that is probably one of the most interesting aspects of what we're seeing. And it probably involves a sophistication in that yes vote that we perhaps didn't necessarily understand was there. I think there's two other things that strike me from it. One is a kind of general point where you start to think, what is the floor of SNP support? There must be a number at which it doesn't really matter how Humza performs or what happens with the police or anything else. There'll still be a certain proportion of the population that will just vote SNP irrespective. And it's interesting to see if we're approaching that number. But the other interesting thing, I think, is that I've begun to wonder over the last few months whether or not the SNP can actually deliver independence, or whether, we talked about how broad the church is. If you look at the people who voted no the last time, who could have voted yes because they're not die-hard emotional unionists, they're fairly pragmatic centrists. They didn't vote yes because there was no economic case. The SNP nor the Greens are making an economic case. And it does start to make you wonder that if that yes contingent, if that 48% is showing themselves to be able to vote for different parties than the SNP, does that not mean that a centrist, pro-independence, pro-growth, pro-business type of party could actually be a very useful addition to the independence movement and could potentially push them over the line?